YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about whether I agree with the whole harden the fuck up message that Durian Rider and his followers give. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm sorry if I come across as at all insensitive in this video. I don't mean to be that way, but obviously this is a subject that may be very hard to talk about sensitively, and sometimes, the truth has to be shared, even if it's not what you want to hear. So, I do, to some extent, agree with the harden the fuck up message, because it does actually work for some people. Telling, and this isn't just like in mental illness recovery, it's like in all walks of life and all things that you could achieve, like maybe climbing better, or doing well in your A-levels, or getting a job, anything really. I do agree with telling people, to some extent, to harden the fuck up, because for certain people it does work, and it does push them to make a change and push them to really do something about mental illness, and like really motivates them to recover from it, or pushes them to climb harder, or try and get that job, or revise harder. And some people really need to be pushed like that to do well, and need to really be pushed like that to achieve. In general, that's just their personality. They need to be told harsh things like harden the fuck up to do well at anything, and to get better from a mental illness. Sometimes the only thing that can shake someone out of something, or shake someone into doing what they need to do to be the best person they can possibly be, is something so harsh as harden the fuck up. But then, on the other hand, I do totally understand that telling people to harden the fuck up when they're in a really vulnerable mental state can make them worse. It can, if they're really stuck in a victim mentality, they're gonna just go and like curl up in a ball in their bed and never come out again, and it could make their mental illness a lot worse, which is obviously very dangerous if they're suffering from an eating disorder or depression, and if they're suffering from anxiety, and if they're in a vulnerable place with their anxiety, maybe telling them to harden the fuck up isn't the best idea, because it's not going to achieve anything, and it might be counterproductive. And I've experienced this myself with my anxiety. Like, my parents always tell me to just, like, they don't say harden the fuck up, but they say, a nicer version of that without the swear words. Do you get me? They say things like man up. Like, my dad says that to me with my anxiety, or at least he used to, and it didn't really help me. It didn't make me be able to like go into that shop and pay for something, because I used to not be able to go into shops and pay for things because, social anxiety here, and it was just like not productive at all. So I think the whole harden the fuck up message really does depend. I don't think it's necessarily helpful for everyone, and I think it can be more helpful for people who've been educated about what victim mentality is, and can see, they can be open-minded, and they can see themselves in that victim mentality, and they kind of have some sort of education about their mental illness and about recovery, and they're ready to push themselves forwards. I personally am one of those people who the whole harden the fuck up message works in some things for me, but not others. So when it comes to doing A-levels, if I'm told to harden the fuck up and work more, then I will, because I want to do well, or anything academic. And same with climbing quite a lot of the time, because I'm really scared of falling when I'm bouldering. If I tell myself, or someone else tells me to harden the fuck up, I will, and get over it. But again, with my social anxiety, it doesn't really help at all, and it makes me kind of feel worse about myself. So the harden the fuck up message is good in some circumstances, and it's good for some people, but for others it doesn't work. And that doesn't make the harden the fuck up message irresponsible, and it doesn't mean people who promote it like Durian Rider don't understand mental illnesses. It just means that people are different, and mental illnesses are different, and we all have different personalities, so different things work for all of us, which I guess is kind of sucks, because there's no one size fits all for recovery from mental illnesses, and if there was a one size fits all for mental illness recovery, that would make it a lot easier to treat people. It would mean more people would probably be recovered, and there would be less debate and hate online about people saying things like harden the fuck up, or people calling people victim enablers and various things like that. So yeah, that's my answer. I do agree with harden the fuck up in some circumstances, because I think it does honestly and genuinely work for some people. And this isn't just about mental illness recovery, it's about all possible things you can do in life. You know, sometimes people need to be pushed that far to go on and achieve, and I don't think there's anything much we can do about that. It's just the way people are. And I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and follow me on all my social medias. Links will be down in the description.